We're gonna dive into lead sources, a lead sheet, how to qualify leads, understanding the skill of conversion, and how to track numbers. This is the part that they don't teach you in school. Like, you have to generate a lot of leads or you don't have a business. When you have a lot of leads, the next step is learning how to convert the leads. But you gotta master the first step, which is generating a lot of leads. And that usually comes with money or massively successful skill sets or grinding the doors. But if you don't have leads, you don't have a business. And so think of what you want out of this section. I want you to write it down in your notes. What do you really want to learn in this section? So you got a lead. You got someone that said, hey, I'm thinking of doing something. Now what? Well, here's a simple answer. Close for an appointment. Let's meet tomorrow. Let's meet next week. Top agents do 4 things. And it says it right there on page 21. Speak to lead. What's number 1? Lead comes in, job what you're doing, call them. With internet leads, I saw a statistic. If you don't answer an internet lead within the first 2 minutes, your ability to convert falls by 80%, which means you're chasing it. You're constantly just trying to get them on the phone. You're chasing. Number 2, this isn't taught, but it's here. Get information. So I'm gonna give you guys a little secret. Give to get. You get an inquiry and they said their name is Bob. And you're talking to Bob. Say, hey Bob, my name is Lee Rosa. I didn't catch your last name. Give to get. Nobody will give you anything until you put deposits in them and then you can withdraw. Hey, I'd love to send you a gift card. May I get your full address? Versus, hey, can I have your address? Like, no, you can't, weirdo. But I'm gonna give you something. Can I get it? There are no jerks in the world. There's only a jerk when you showed up and try to get what you want out of them, so they react a certain way. Always determine a person's motivation to buy. Are they able, ready, and willing? And we're gonna go deep into that in a second. Avoid being a Pop-Tart agent, which means they call and they wanna see a property and you stop what you're doing and you go show. Like a Pop-Tart in the toaster. Pop. Work with people who are ready, willing, and able. Set a consultation with A buyers, meaning that they're hot and ready as soon as possible. So what are the goals of conversion? What are the goals? Number 1, to get an appointment. Number 2, to get a referral. 3, strengthen the relationship. Always strengthen the relationship, shoot for an appointment, and ask for a referral. Why do you think that getting to an appointment with a buyer is vitally important to be first or second? Because every year, the National Association of Realtors, they put out a guide. We go over it at family reunion. You get the slides. I share it in the team meetings. Every year, the NAR puts out a guide. And in the guide, they interview thousands of homeowners and folks who have bought and sold in the last year. And one of the questions they ask is, how many agents did you interview before you chose one? And like 80% is 1, and like 15% is 2, which means that like 95% of everyone who buys real estate only interviews 1 or 2 agents. We are a research company, cleverly disguised to sell real estate. Nothing in this book is made up. It is the greatest model in existence because it's based on research. And that's why I wanted to connect the dots. Everything you guys said was correct. Yet the reason he says it is because it's facts. Because buyers don't interview multiple agents. They get with one, and as long as they don't fuck it up, they work with them. Which is why when they say, I'm working with an agent, you go, I'm so glad you're working with an agent. And if there was a better way, would you be interested? And which is why that line in itself will always help me pull someone away from an agent. Because I know that they will interview a second agent if you can make it compelling enough, because the statistics say so. So when someone says, I'm working with an agent, did you sign a contract? No. If there's a better way, would you be interested? I know. Because statistically, you're going to say yes. You guys get it? That's why I slowed down here. That's why I slowed down here. I want you guys to hear it. And none of this is made up. This is all based off of facts, real data. And it says, if you're getting to the appointment every time, then you're fast enough. If you do not get the appointment, you're probably not fast enough or haven't perfected the scripts to close for appointments. The most important part of working with buyers, understanding this. Are they ready? Are they able? And are they willing? So let's dive in. Conversation matters. What you say matters. How you ask questions matters. And I just think back, Larry, to the Ask Lee Anything the other day, and it's the way that we have the conversation, how we prepare to go into the conversation matters. So all leads are not equal. I'm reading the book. All leads are not equal. The leads most deserving of your time are those that are pre-qualified as ready, willing, and able to buy within a predictable time frame. If not, you'll want to keep and cultivate the lead until you want to stay in emotional proximity until they're ready, willing, and able. It's that simple. This isn't complicated. You speak to people and they're either ready now or they're inevitably going to be ready later. What is later? I don't know. But if you don't have anybody, that's all you should be doing is speaking to people to find someone who's ready. We don't get paid to work. We get paid to close deals. And you close deals with people that have motivation, that are ready, willing, and able. So, somebody read what's willing. Now. What's able. Now. 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 Not over the summer. Now. Because if you have a buyer, I want you guys to think about this. You have a buyer who's looking to close by August. The fuck are you doing? April, May, June, July. Cool, so you can get paid in 6 months. Now. Find the people now. That's why I'm doing this. So you get it. I learned this at the beginning of my career. This what I'm about to say. Real estate is a 100-day cycle, which means if I do not have a listing appointment today, or a buyer consultation today, in 100 days, I have no money. So if I got no money right now, I'm still 100 days away. Tomorrow, I don't sit on an appointment, I'm 100 days away. On Thursday, I don't sit on an appointment, I'm 100 days away. I had that pit in my stomach every fucking day. Every day I'd wake up and be like, I'm 100 days away. Alarm didn't fuck me up. I woke up because I was 100 days away every day. Until you get it, you don't get it. Which is why the now matters. The now. Now. Able to buy now. Not over the summer. Over the summer's cool. I'll help you. But that doesn't mean I have shit. You get it? Now. I'm being energetic with you guys because that's why 80% of agents fail or they get real jobs because they don't do what it takes to find now business. Now. Which is literally grinding on the phones for 3, 4, 5 hours a day until they find people that are now. And then they got to keep them. And then they got to write offers. And then they got to negotiate. And then they got to keep the deal together, which is the hardest part. But we make all this other shit the hardest part. It's not. It's not. This is the easy stuff, man. It's the easy stuff. Keeping the deal together is the hardest part. Hands down. And y'all will learn that. All right, so what does ready mean? Now. With energy. Now. To make strategic decisions now. Not, well, Scott, how about this? I don't need that. Hold on, no. Hold on. But we're listed at $1 million. I got you an offer at $990,000. Yeah, but it's not $1 million. I don't want it. They're unmotivated. Now. You guys get it? That's why I did it. Because some of you just think I'm being obnoxious. But some of you guys that are like dealing with unmotivated people, that one hits hard. Doesn't mean that you don't necessarily keep those people in your world. But if you don't have now business, you're 100 days away from getting paid. 100 days. Every single day. Every day that you don't set an appointment, you're stealing from yourself 100 days from now. I just learned that at the beginning of my career and it never went away. And so here's the curveball. In 2008, 9, when short sales started becoming rampant, Then it was you'd have to sell a home every, like 2, 3, 4 times, which then threw this entire 100-day thing down the whole river. Because you would literally sell a home and then have to wait 6 months. And then the bank would say, oh, no, we're under contract at 200, we want 210. And the buyer would walk. You have to put it back on the market. And then you get an offer at 210, you'd have to wait 4 months, and the bank would say, oh, no, we don't want 210 anymore, we want 212. And the buyer's like, you made me wait 4 months to have me pay more? I'm out. And you gotta put it back on the market. This is the way it was. And you think this is hard? Shit. You have no idea. I told someone earlier today in Ask Lee Anything, me and my business partner, we would have 70 listings and we would sell 6 to 7 of them a month. We'd have a lot of them under contract, but you never know what would close. Ready, willing, able, now. Now business. And I sat here and I pushed on this for a reason. Because if you don't have a pit in your stomach of how difficult it is or how much energy you have to put on the practicing and role playing and like learning exactly what to say and putting the time in, this isn't just, oh, I'll make a couple calls or hey, I'll just do this. It's a grind. And everyone can succeed. Equal opportunity, unequal success, unequal share, equal opportunity. There's now definitions of an A, B, or C lead. A is they're looking to do business in the next 14 days, maybe the next 30 days. You can adjust that however you see fit, but here's a fun fact. For an agent who has a goal of closing 100 transactions themselves, their definition of a lead is looking to do business in the next week to 10 days. Why? Because to close 100 transactions is 2 a week. There's 52 weeks in a year. Just do the math. Well, so if I'm working with someone who wants to buy 60 days from now, how do you close 2 a week? See, that's not a lead. Now, that's a prospect, but the truth is, you got to work with people that'll write an offer, go under contract, because you got to close 2 a week. If you want to close 50, it means you got to close 1 a week. You can't work with people who want to close in 3 months from now. New agents, the reason they fail is because anyone with a pulse is a lead. Anyone who's nice to them on the phone is a lead. And then they work and they don't get paid and then they're still 100 days away. But they work now. And they worked, which means they stopped getting on the phone because they're like, oh, I got to do this new part. I got someone to work. I don't need to be on the phone because I'm... And then it's just this conundrum of failure. It just means you have to work more hours of being on the phone, even if you have appointments. Because again, every 100 days, you're just pushing. You're just pushing. Does this make sense? So determining able. Able is that they are able to do it, that they have a pre-approval, they have proof of funds, they're willing to do what it takes. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do, because we're going to close this out. I want you guys to study the 7 critical points. This is probably the most important part of the entire book, because you understanding how to be a fiduciary to a buyer when they're borrowing money is vital. I want you guys to study it and understand it, highlight, underline, and I'm going to guide you guys through this. Then I want you to read the 4-step lead conversion process, because that's a model. That's this right here. It's a model. All right? You absolutely need to understand this model, because this right here is foundational and it's part of the MREA. And we're going to go super deep on this. The other thing that I want you to do is go on to the Facebook group, go under Files, and download LPMAMA, LPMAMA, Location, Price, Motivation, Agent, Mortgage, or Cash Appointment, LPMAMA. Download it, and if you're not part of the Facebook group, join it. Studying all the way through, learning what the benefits of a lead sheet is, how to use a lead sheet. All of this you need to study, because I'm not going to go through it line by line by line by line by line. We're going to have a conversation around it. Objection handling, scripts. This is all stuff that you absolutely need to study. I want to communicate with you. I don't want to lecture you. And the more that you read, the more you'll be curious, and we can have more of a conversation than me just doing this. Today I spent a lot of time on stuff that was not in the book on purpose, like the 6 personal perspectives and having you guys understand what a model is and the importance of it, and all of this for the reason of what I just said. We're now gonna go into the meat of how to qualify leads, and you need to read this stuff first for me to then teach you it. Yes, to then ask questions.